a moment for Halifax Rugby League.
Austin is through and Warrington dominating. Great try for the Robins. Huddersfield Giants take the points home. It's missed. It's a poor lad. That is one sensational try.
Look out with a drop goal. Leeds gather round in jubilation.
It's hit the post. It's Wellsby. Wellsby might have got the try. St Helens are champions once again.
Hello and welcome to Betfred's Last Tackle. We've just had a fantastic Betfred Challenge Cup weekend and with two former Challenge Cup winners in Paul Sculthorpe and Adrian Morley. Scully, the Challenge Cup is alive and well.
Yes, what a fantastic weekend it was as well. Both the obviously the men's and the women's. Obviously the women's final curtain raiser to the men's semis, and 3 great games.
And we'll talk about it in detail later, Moz. You lifted the trophy as Warrington captain, but disappointment for the Wire this weekend.
Yeah, very disappointing. It's the old inconsistency tag that's been labelled with Warrington for the last few years, and great one week, poor the next. And if you look at the two, it's quite interesting. The 2 games leading up to it, Castleford had 60 put past them off Leeds, and Warrington put 60 past Salford. So you'd think Warrington would be in a better vein of form. However, it looked like it was the other way around. But Cass just started great and didn't really let Warrington get in the game. So great game. Warrington did have the say at moments, but it was Cass's game and they performed very, very well. And they'll need to be really good in the final, but it proves that they have got it in their arsenal. And they looked fantastic.
We'll talk about that semi-final in detail, but let's start with the final. It was the final of the Betfred Women's Challenge Cup. It was live on the BBC and it didn't disappoint.
This is the first real danger from St Helens. Gaskin, out wide, there's a gap, and there's Danny Bush with the try, stands firm. Jones once more, keeping it moving to Stott, gaps out wide for St Helens, going for the corners, Woozy!
Amy Hardcastle coming in, Roberts coming in also, taking that speed and that energy.
St Helens, there's a gap, what a pass from Cunningham, it's released Rudge, she's got support, she doesn't need it, Emily Rudge goes for underneath the post, fights off that last line of defence. Airing that Knights defence, taking 2 or 3 players to bring her down. Cunningham now looking dangerous, she's got support, Hardcastle, here she goes, into the Knights half of the field, still Hardcastle.
They're in trouble.
Chase comes in from Hardy, she won't get there, Amy Hardcastle goes in right under the post. It's the last of the set for York City Knights, once more camping on that St Helens try line. Peach with the grubber, safely mocked up by St Helens, but York think they've scored. Go for Jones to Stott to Cunningham, Cunningham finds a gap again for Woozy. Jones once more, Cunningham appealing for it, she gets it, she passes it to Stott. Stott's got support, Rotherham coming into the line, here comes Roberts, trying to find a way around the outside, and that's another try for St Helens. Here's Cunningham, there's a gap, it just opens up, and that will be another try from St Helens. It's Paige Travis, the try scorer, but as the countdown starts across the stadium, Andrade for York City Knights, and there is the hooter, the new name on the 2021 Women's Challenge Cup trophy will be St Helens. They have beaten York City Knights by 34 points to 6. The team...
Congratulations to St Helens. I was at that game. Great atmosphere. Great game. Moz, now the first 15 minutes, York were bang into it.
Yeah, they were. They looked the better side, really. And, even though, you say it's the girls' game, but they didn't half get stuck in. And some of them forwards, some of the hits were ferocious, really. So they had to say York, but just proved a little bit of class there with St Helens. And they ended up running away with it a little bit at the end. But fantastic game, and well done to Saints. I like what you just said.
Yeah, look, they throw the ball around well, don't they?
They do. It's great to watch, isn't it? Like you said, they love to express themselves with the ball, and as Moss says, they certainly not feared in getting stuck in. And Saints have got a lot of experience there, certainly. The likes of Emily Rudge and Jodie Cunningham, and obviously Amy Hardcastle, who got in the international team of the year. She showed her pace and power yet again, and Saints just had too much for York.
You still work at Saints. What does this mean for the club?
Yeah, it's massive. It's the girls' game as a whole has been fantastic, hasn't it? Over the last couple of years, and now to actually get the girls' Challenge Cup final live on the BBC has been fantastic for the game, and obviously Saints to be the club that lift that, and obviously have the men's team following and get through to Wembley as well. It was a great weekend for the club.
After watching that, it seems stupid. That's the first time the final's been live on the BBC. It just seems crazy, doesn't it?
It is crazy, but the Super League, Women's Super League as a whole, is getting a lot more momentum. It's getting a lot more publicity. So I think it was only a matter of time, really. So it's credit to the BBC, but it is long overdue. You're right. So really, really entertaining game. So long may it continue.
Yeah, credit to the BBC for showing 2 semi-finals and the final as well. Let's say from the player of the match, Scully's already mentioned her. It's Emily Rudge.
2021 Betfred Challenge Cup winners, how does that feel?
Amazing to hear that, honestly. I feel like it's been a long time going for us. We got knocked out a couple of last years in the semis, and we really wanted to make the final this year. So to win it and get that trophy is just incredible.
You mentioned those defeats in 2019, and obviously we all lost out in 2020 with no rugby. Does that make this even sweeter?
Definitely. We feel like it's been a long pre-season for us. We worked really hard away. We've done a lot of training on our own and then in twos, and it's just great to be back as a team and a squad and to get out on the pitch and with the fans. It's incredible. It is really special to be a part of it today.
And 20-0 up at half time, considering the amount of defending that you had to do, you must have been really pleased at the 40
Yeah, definitely. I feel we made it really hard for ourselves. We made quite a lot of mistakes today, and I don't think it was our best performance, but we definitely did ourselves proud. A lot of the girls dug in and we worked hard despite the mistakes, so I'm just really pleased to get the trophy and get the win.
And player of the match for yourself with the try as well, it couldn't have gone much better, could it?
Yeah, really pleased with that, but to be honest, I think it could have gone to anybody today. I think loads of the girls dug in and had a great performance individually and as a team, so really proud of all the girls today, and it's great to be a part of it.
Well, congratulations and enjoy it.
Thanks very much.
Lewis Smith with the questions there. And, of course, the women's game didn't happen for about 15 months, did it, because of COVID-19?
Yeah, no, the girls have obviously had a long break through the pandemic, haven't they? So to be able to come back and perform like they have done, I think you see there from Emily's interview, there's no lack in the enthusiasm what the girls bring, and they back it up with hard work, and it's great. And I just think games like that at the weekend are just going to inspire more and more girls and women to take up the game.
Well, you'll be seeing plenty of more of Emily Rudge this year in an England shirt, because it's World Cup year, and this week we unveiled the new England kit.
Did those feet in ancient time walk upon England's mountains green? And did the countenance divine shine forth upon our clouded hills? Bring me my bow of burning gold. Bring me my arrows of desire. Bring me my spear, O clouds unfold. Bring me my chariot of fire. I will not cease from mental fight, nor shall my sword sleep in my hand, till we have built Jerusalem in England's green and pleasant land.
And as you can see there, we're an official partner, not just of the men's team, but the wheelchair team and the women's team as well, because this is such an inclusive World Cup, Moss.
Yeah, it is, and that was fantastic, that clip there. I always used to love...
Wish you were still playing.
I do, yeah. I used to love playing rugby league anyway, but there's something special about representing your country, whether that be England or Great Britain, and I used to love Jerusalem, the hymn, and Land of Hope and Glory, God Save the Queen. It was all... hairs on your neck, stand-up material, but yeah, fantastic clip. But it's really exciting, We've got, don't get me wrong, we've got an exciting Super League to come up, but we've got that to look forward to at the end of the year as well. So great that all 3 competitions are in the UK, and it'll be give everyone a chance to watch some great rugby league.
How important is this year for rugby league?
Yeah, it's massive. Well, as long as I know obviously being involved in the England setup, there's a lot of work gone in the last 4 years for this World Cup. Not only to make it a massive success, which John Dutton and his team have done, but also, success is judged on how many trophies we lift, and the aim is to win 3 trophies. So that's the thing for obviously the game in England, and I think we've done everything we can so far, certainly to be best prepared to do that. And
obviously it has been tough with meetups, etc. But Sean Wayne is convinced you can win this.
Yeah, he is. We've done a lot with Sean over the pandemic period. Probably more prepared in regards to watching players, footage, coaches meetings, because you can, the world revolved around Zoom, didn't it? And it was easier to do that while you couldn't do anything else. So, and obviously the players were still playing in Super League, so a lot of one-on-one meetings with Sean and the players, and group coaches meetings as well. So preparation has been great. We know the players, and the great thing is with Sean's involvement now, obviously leading the England senior side, he knows the players inside out. He watches them week in, week out. You see on Sky that he's been to all the games, and he'll pick the best side. And
we were probably an ankle tap away in 2017 from winning it. What would it mean if England could win the World Cup?
Oh, I mean, it's massive, isn't it? There's no bigger honour than winning a World Cup, and hopefully we can be part of that this year.
You're not in England camp. Do you think we can do it?
Oh, definitely. And you mentioned before, to come as close as they did 4 years ago on the world champions' home soil. It was an ankle tap on Callum Watkins that arguably cost us the World Cup. So we was very, very close, but that will give us a great deal of confidence. The fact that it's on home soil, I think, is a massive positive for England. I think we can win, and if and when we do win, it'll be a massive boost in the arm for Rugby League. Having not lifted the trophy for nearly 50 years, it'll be absolutely incredible, and there's no reason why we can't. And Sean Wayne said he's going to pick a squad on form, which I think that's really important as well. So bring it on, can't wait.
That's at the end of a season, and it's fantastic. It's not just about the men's, you've got the Women's World Cup and the Wheelchair World Cup as well, and we're the official partner of England. Let's turn our attention back to the Challenge Cup, and let's talk first of all about St Helens versus Hull. There was some skill and a bit of controversy.
Hands on hips, the master of this situation, left again to Farge. Farge with a short pass, Matotia. Well read by the whole defence, but there's more to come here. Roby left again, quick hands, and to Grace, who's dived in.
Griffin seems to have turned the screw now.
Griffin's found a bit of space here.
He's gone.
He's gone, and he's lost the ball, and Farge picks it up, and that is just one of those cruel sporting moments. Farge, thanks Kev. Here's Lomax left and Wellesby, and stretching, and he's claimed a try. Danny Houghton again spins it back. Quick from Reynolds and from Connor. Here's Twimavavi, sets it up on a plate for Miller. This is McCarthy Scarsborough. Last play. Roby spins it back. Farge is going for the drop goal here, and Farge has got the drop goal. And big set to Mavavi. Off it goes to Danny Houghton, who scores. Houghton, Reynolds, quickly on by Connor. Now it's with Scott. Comes Scott, scores. Spins it back. Sneed to Reynolds. Connor intercepts it by Regan Grace. And off it goes. Off goes Regan Grace to win the semi-final in the most dramatic of circumstances. Regan Grace, the Welsh flyer, is a Saints hero.
Here we go. So St Helens win. Right then, what do we make of the Josh Griffin incident?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? You talk about sportsmanship or lack of sportsmanship, what people are saying. I feel, certainly for Josh, it's an horrific injury. Unfortunately, I've had that one, and I'm not surprised that he didn't think about what he was doing with the ball. When he realised his Achilles had snapped, he'd have been in horrific pain. But Theo, all the way from being a kid, when you're involved in rugby league, he's played to the whistle. He's seen the ball on the floor, he's picked it up and he's scored. Now, there's different ways of taking it. I know in football the ball's kicked out of play. It's a very different game, and for me, you get taught to play to the whistle, you play to it.
I suppose it's easy to watch now and think, well, maybe you should have done this or you should have done that, isn't it?
It's a split-second decision. He's literally, there's a ball on the floor, and you've got to. It's instinct what you pick a loose ball up, and when there's certainly with the try line in front of you to do that. So for me, nobody can have a go at Theo.
Yeah, I have no problems with Theo. You play to the whistle first and foremost. The ball was on the floor, picked it up, scored a try, and just on Josh, I don't want to be overly critical, and Scully probably touched on it there. I don't know how much pain he was in and how bad the injury was, but you know, people say just keep hold of the ball no matter if you're injured or not, and there's been a number of injuries, you know, different injuries, and that particular injury where people just keep hold of the ball. But as I say, I don't want to be overly critical, but you know, you don't get taught to. It must have been an extreme amount of pain for him to just throw the ball away, but that's just the way it happened, and you know, Theo just played to the whistle, and fair try in my opinion.
Well, let's hope Josh is back very, very soon. We wish him all the best. Let's talk about the game. I tell you what, in the second half, Hull came out very strong.
They certainly did, yeah. Was it 20 points to 2 down, and obviously played themselves only one score away from getting back in front, or certainly being in the game. And all credit to Hull. I think Saints will probably look back at the things that they did over that period, and let them into the game. But obviously, great interception there from Regan to seal the game.
Yeah, that's maybe the difference at the end there, wasn't it?
Oh,
I think
definitely.
if Hull could have carried on.
Yeah, well, I thought it was a fantastic game, first and foremost. Hull come out the blocks flying, for 20 minutes they battered Saints, and then Saints, as they do, ground Hull down and got on top, and you thought it was all one-way traffic. However, Hull did have their say, and they had the momentum, and if that pass had stuck, it could have been Hull in the final. But what drama, fantastic finish by Regan Grace, and then they added a bit of extra at the end, but it had a bit of everything really, didn't it?
I think that's a great thing with our game as well, isn't it? Like you say, from end to end stuff, that pass of Jake Connors goes to a Hull FC player. They're only 3 points behind, takes them in front, or Regan seals the win for Saints, and that's the flip of a coin, in Rugby League, and what we love about the game.
Well, Saints are at Wembley, have not won it since 2008, but let's get some reaction from the Saints camp.
Congratulations, mate, heading to Wembley, what a feeling.
Fantastic, yeah, obviously. It's a great moment for the club, obviously, to get back there, and hopefully we can play 80 minutes again and hopefully come away with some silverware this time.
That was tough. You got yourselves out in head, but Hull FC pulled it right back. It was nervy that last 10 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I think obviously it's a do or die game, so I think they just went after it and we let them get back into it and more fool us really. I think we've got to be more clinical and more desperate to stop tries really.
And we always talk about St Helens and this Wembley hoodoo thing, but is this the perfect opportunity to put that right in a few weeks' time?
Fingers crossed, hopefully, yeah, touch wood.
And you've played in some important games behind closed doors, but how much of a difference does this make today?
It's amazing, just to have every fan back in. I think the country needs a lift, and obviously it's a fantastic when people come back into the stadium. It just gives you goosebumps again, and it just urges on the players as well to perform to their best and everything, so it's an amazing feeling when the fans are back in.
And an opportunity for you to play at Wembley, your neck of the woods, of course, where you're from. Yeah. Special, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah, hopefully, yeah. Hopefully I can get some more tickets this time, it'll be alright.
We've got to wait to see how many tickets we're going to have for the Betfred Challenge Cup final. We're going to wait to see the government announcement, and then there'll be an announcement from the RFL about tickets for Wembley. Fingers crossed we get many in there as possible. Right, now I'm going to get an unbiased opinion. Right, Saints from the outside, class side, quality, and they're grinding out results this year as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. I think their defence is the best I've seen it, to be honest with you. Probably they're attacking, they're probably lacking a little bit of crispness in their attack, but that will come. But the defence is absolutely phenomenal, and they are grinding teams down, and they are getting the wins. So, out of all the teams in Super League, I'd say Saints are on top by quite a long way. To be fair,
has Christian Wolf worked on the defence a lot then, Scully?
Yeah, I think
is that what you've been told?
Speaking to people at the club, Christian is very defence orientated, and it's no surprise from an Australian coach that defence wins games, but I think on the other hand as well, he's got a great spine of a team there, pulling the strings. Lachlan Coote, Johnny Lomax, Theo Farge, and then James Roby at 9. You've got a lot of direction there, so that gives the other players a lot more, direction in where they're going and where they need to be, and I think that's worked great this year.
You were heavy favourites a couple of years ago to win the Challenge Cup in the final and came unstuck. 2008 was the last time. That is too long for a club like St Helens, isn't it?
Yeah, it rings a bell with me because it was my last game as well. So it does seem a long while ago. And obviously went into that. I think it was Warrington we got turned over. Went into that massive favourites, and I think that'll be the case this year. That we will obviously Saints will go into it clear favourites over Castleford, but it shows you that nothing's deserved, nothing's won. You know, you've got to turn up and perform on the day, and Wembley is
2 years ago showed that,
different occasion. Yeah.
Well, if Castleford start the final as they did that semi-final, they will have a massive say. I thought they were absolutely outstanding in that game. So games are not always won on who's the favourite and who's not. So I think players who did play in that will have learned from a couple of years ago, and I think they'll come out and give it their all, I'm sure. Well,
as a former Warrington captain, you maybe want to go for a cup of tea and come back in a couple of minutes. But we've got to watch Castleford versus Warrington in the other semi-final.
Four, come to him. Four. Go to Steph! Steph! Oh! Go four. Wait, go three. Three. Go three. Go four. Austin. Clock and too slow.
No commentary, but it's brilliant to hear a real crowd once again, isn't it? Right, let's talk Warrington. What went wrong?
Well, inconsistency, you know. You can't be good one week and average the next, but I must say Castleford started the game very, very well. They got walloped the week before against Leeds.
Yeah,
I think that played
into... And Warrington obviously walloped Salford.
They had a great one. And in the future, I can't see coaches before a semi-final saying, make sure you get walloped the week before because you performed.
But Darryl Powell did make 7 changes, to be fair. Yeah.
He did, and, you know, it's great listening to Darryl during the week. He said, we've drew a line under the Leeds result, you know, we'd concentrate on this. So they were obviously very focused. And I think that, you know, there's only 2 pieces of silverware on offer, and I think they went out and for Darryl, I think they give it their all. But Cass were very good. Warrington inconsistent again, but they just started so well. Castleford, Warrington did have the say, you know, they threatened to get back into it when they scored 2 quick tries, but I think that try by Senny Lafayette, I think that was the final nail in the coffin, really. I don't think there's any way back after that, but again, it was a great game, and Cass need to they know they've got that in their arsenal now, so they need to perform like that in the league, but B, in the final when they come up against the form team in St Helens.
And how good is Paul McShane?
Fantastic, you don't get Man of Steel by fluke, and he's right up there, and he's the heartbeat of that team. He's in everything, and every time I've watched him, he's a 9 or 10 out of 10 without a doubt. So delighted for him. I'm really pleased with Darryl Powell as well. I know he's. Castleford people are very, very passionate, and they've let him know what they feel about him moving on, but I'm delighted for him because he is Castleford through and through. He's from the area, so I'm delighted he's got them to the final, so he'll be hoping to go all the way.
And are you pleased he's at Warrington next year?
I am actually. If you look at the two clubs, he's got the best out of. I think he's took Castleford as far as he can with a limited squad with the resources. Whereas if you look at Warrington, spend up to the cap. So on paper, a guy who gets the best out of a team with a fantastic star-studded squad, they should do very, very well. So I'm pleased for him with Cass, but I'm also pleased he's going to Warrington, and hopefully there's good times around the corner for the Wolves.
Scully, if you're a Warrington fan, are you beginning to think, why have we announced now that Steve Price is leaving at the end of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I've said that on previous shows that I'm not a fan of that. I just think, we know he's leaving, we know Lee Braze is leaving, players are moving on. I just think it unsettles the club. I agree, coaches have got to know where they're going the following year if they're not being kept, but keep it under wraps, and I just think it's just a negative start, to every week. And for me, Warrington, they're just a team full of individuals. Defensively, for me, that's where it stands out. It looks like everybody's got their own agenda, and
they seem to have a lack of balance at times as well.
Yeah, I mean, we all know they're capable of scoring tries, and they've got a lot of skillful players with the ball who they tend to come in and out of the game though. But defensively, they just look shot. They're all over the place.
Yeah, it was. Having had
You've got some great players, haven't you?
Definitely, yeah.
Stephen Ratchford,
and also, having had success in the Cup a couple of years ago, it's a massive tool and incentive that, when you've experienced something before and you know how good it is and you know what the feelings are.
You've got likes of Chris Hill driving you as well, haven't you?
Exactly, you thought that would have been a bit of a inspiration. However, it wasn't, but, Cass were too good on the day, but very, very frustrating, as a Castleford, as a Warrington fan. I can feel all the fans' frustrations. They should have won the Super League, 2 or 3 times at least with the squad they've assembled over the last 10 years or so, but it's never quite been their year, as we say.
No, but you wonder what Warrington's philosophies are. Is it just a case of we'll score more than you? Because everybody talks about Gareth Widdop, Blake Austin, the ability to score points. You've got to stop points as well, and you look at some of them defensive reads and players flying out the line, trying to solve problems on their own when they don't need to. So you wonder, what's the philosophies on defence.
So what do Warrington do now? Obviously, look, you expect them to be in the playoffs, but are they good enough to take that extra step?
At the moment, I'd say no, just because of the inconsistency. You can't be good one week and average the next. You need to be very good throughout the season. So the fact that they're out of the Cup, they've got no distractions now, so that will be a positive for their Super League aspirations. Hopefully they'll crack on with the league now. Our friend Greg Inglis might make a return at the end of the year. That will give them a boost. But, going back to the coach's announcement before, whether that's unsettled the club, I'm not too sure. But they've only got one more roll of the dice now, and that's the Super League Grand Final. So they'll be putting all their eggs in that basket. But whether they can do, can go all the way is another story.
Well, Super League's mental and physical health campaign returns in 2021, working alongside the clubs to tackle the tough stuff. Watch this.
2020 was a year that shook the world.
There have been lows.
There have been highs, learning points, turning points.
We'll take the field with the roar of a crowd ringing round the stadium. It's quite something to hear.
We take pride in breaking down barriers and dismantling stigmas.
Everybody's saying go, 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 and he goes!
We've come a long way.
And a try to Sheringham.
But there's still a lot to be done.
Sometimes we felt alone.
And other times we felt united.
As the world begins to reopen,
make sure you're checking in on your friends and your family.
That's what makes Rugby League so great. We're a family and we want to help our own.
And of course, yourself.
Stand up for inclusion.
Stand firm against discrimination.
And together,
Together.
Together. Together.
Together we can tackle the tough stuff.
Tackle the tough stuff. Round 9, which is this week, is the Rainbow Laces round as well, because Rugby League is an inclusive sport. And check in on your friends and family. That was a message, especially at the moment.
Yeah, it's a tough time, isn't it, at the moment? And I think our game's always led the way with that, with inclusivity and obviously helping look out for each other. With the state of mind, the RL cares, everything that we do, and as Sam Tompkins said, then we're a rugby league family. Yeah,
I've done the Off the Load campaign as well, which is a fantastic initiative by Rugby League. We got set homework, and one it was just to text a mate you've not spoken to for a while.
Fantastic.
Especially at the moment as well. Just text someone just to check they're all right.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fantastic. And people, you forget to do things like that. You just think, oh, so-and-so, he's all right. But until you've had a text message or a phone call, and you don't really know how people are doing. So it's really important. I do a little bit of work with state of mind, and that's what they're always saying, talk. It's the most important thing you can do to talk to people and to try and offload. I mean, there's a lot of different charities out there, but they're all aim for one thing, looking after your mental health and looking after one another. So Scully mentioned before, Rugby League is very inclusive, and it's also adapts, and all, it takes on board all these different charities, which is fantastic.
And I think you're both very aware that Rugby League is very much part of the community.
Yeah, it's a massive community game, isn't it? And as you say, from top to bottom, it's very unified. From the community game to the top of England, and that's a great thing. And seeing this now with the World Cups, with the 3 teams, the shirt launch of the wheelchair, the women and the men's together, we are very, very unified. And obviously there's the PDRL, the LDRL, fantastic.
Let's look at the Super League fixtures. As I said, it is the Rainbow Laces round as well. Fingers crossed these are all on as well, because reports of some players in isolation at a couple of clubs. Let's hope all these fixtures do take place. Thursday night, Castleford, Hull. Obviously, contrast, Scully. Castleford, that great win. Hull, come back in the second half, but unlucky.
Yeah, it's obviously it's how Cass get themselves back up after that. The elation of making Wembley, and then Hull FC obviously want to bounce back with a good performance in Super League.
Yeah.
Huddersfield, Wigan.
Wigan. I mean,
although Huddersfield have definitely improved, haven't they?
They have improved, but they got knocked off in the last round, didn't they?
Yeah.
But I just feel Wigan got a good idea over there at Catalans. I think they've had 2 weeks to dwell on that and regroup. But I just think Wigan will be too strong. But I do feel Huddersfield are improving, but not quite to that level where they can knock off Wigan at the moment.
I'm going to stay with you, Moz. This is a huge game for Salford at Hull KR. Hull KR versus the Salford Red Devils. Now, Hull KR have improved the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, they have. They've had a number of wins, Hull KR, and Salford I thought were on the improvement, and I thought they should have beat Wigan at home a couple of weeks back. I watched them against Saints the week before that, and I thought they was very, very good in the first half, not so good the second half, but I thought they're improving, and if they can put an 80 minutes together, that they'll not too far away from another win. However, they got a good iron against Warrington. So again, they've had 2 weeks to regroup and get a few things going for him. But I know they've got a number of injury problems. Hopefully that 2 weeks they've got a few bodies back now. But it's a massive game. If they've got any aspirations to make the playoffs, they need to start winning first and foremost. But this is a game they need to win against a team who are arguably round about their level. So massive game. Tough place to go, Hull KR. I probably will go for Hull KR just because it's home soil. So tough one.
Scully, Leeds gelled last time with that performance at Cass, but it's St Helens.
Yeah, it's obviously I think it's the biggest challenge for Leeds so far, isn't it? Probably no better time for them to play. Obviously, Saints coming on the back of the semi-final. Leeds had a week off. Do they get some bodies back? It's the gig ends at Headingley, and I think if Leeds are going to compete, this is a game where they've got to show what they're made of. But I don't think they'll have enough.
Warrington, Wakefield. If you're a Warrington fan, you want to see a decent performance at home.
Yeah, I think with a massive disappointment of the semi-final, where they probably were going into that as favourites, and it didn't quite go according to plan. I think it would be cracking the whip this week, and I think you'll see a dramatically improved Warrington performance there, and I think Warrington will get the win at home.
And finally on a Saturday, Leigh versus Catalans. When's that first Leigh win coming?
Yeah, not this week. I think on the current form, I think Catalan are the form team in Super League. Undefeated in May. Steve McNamara, coach of the month. I think everything says a Catalan win, and unfortunately the misery might carry on another week for Leigh.
Gents, I really enjoyed your company. Let's just wrap things up. Great weekend, and if anyone thought the Challenge Cup didn't mean anything, look at those St Helens women's players when they won that.
Absolutely fantastic, yeah. I mean, it just brings back the old feelings about playing, but I was fortunate enough to win a few Challenge Cups myself, and there's no feeling like it, and just watching them ladies all celebrate was absolutely fantastic.
And the Challenge Cup is alive and well, isn't it?
It certainly is, and obviously great final for the women there, and now look forward to Wembley. Saints Cass, I think, will be a cracking game.
Thanks, gents. Congratulations to St Helens women winning the Betfred Challenge Cup, and congratulations to Cass and Saints in reaching the final on Saturday the 17th of July. Whether you're watching the Rugby League in a stadium or on the sofa, enjoy it. Enjoy the Betfred Super League, the Championship and League One. See you soon.